Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
The weekend lineup on 910 AM is crazy.
I am your host, Nurse Charms, the nurse of morning radio, here to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. Listen, information is power and information is currency, so we do not do misinformation over here. Stay locked in with me, and I promise that you will not be disappointed. From 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., chime in on the discussions that we have on this show so we can hear from you.
910 AM Superstation. WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit. 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
Well, good morning, Detroit and listeners around the world. Happy Sunday. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation, and this is Nurse Charms Live. Yes, I am live in the studio this morning, and it is so great to be here. I am your host, Nurse Charms, the nurse of morning radio, here to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. If you are just tuning in for the first time, you will hear my voice on 910 AM Superstation every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So first and foremost, thank you to all of my faithful listeners who tune into my show every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, before we get into our topic for today, I always tell people about my background. I am an experienced registered nurse of 21 years. So as someone who has been in the nursing profession for 21 years, it is important for me to shed light and break down important topics in medicine. So My hopes with this show are that individuals will use this information to make choices that will benefit their life. In addition, when individuals make better health choices, ultimately our communities become healthier and we can all live a more productive life. So as I said, I am a registered nurse who is actively licensed by the state of Michigan for 21 years, and currently I am employed with a local hospital. I'm also a licensed massage therapist of 10 years and a serial entrepreneur. So that's my background, and I'm sticking with it. And I'm going to always start off this show letting y'all know that I have my street creds, okay? However, this is also the people show. So that means I want to hear all of y'all's opinions on certain topics. I don't want to sit here and dominate the radio show without letting my callers express their thoughts. So please call into my show, okay? The number here is 313-778-7600. Again, 313-778-7600. I want all of you to chime in on the discussions that we have so we can hear from you. And I will always do my best to try to answer your questions with research and facts. And if you're watching the show on the 910 AM Superstation Facebook page, please drop a heart emoji and share this video, because that lets the Facebook algorithm know that this is good content, and they will continue to show this video to more and more people so we can get this content out there. I also want to mention that we are streaming live on the 910 AM Superstation app. I personally have the 910 AM app on my phone. I recommend that everyone else goes and gets the app, and you can download that app in the App Store. We can also be heard on the iHeartRadio app and the TuneIn Radio app. And lastly, you can always visit the 910 AM website and watch us live in studio. So there are plenty of ways to listen to the show without any excuses. That means I want y'all here every Sunday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. This morning, Dr. Romana Benkert is joining me live in the studio. So if you are watching on our 910 AM Facebook page, our website, or the app, you can see Dr. Benkert in the studio with me. Dr. Benkert, wave to the cameras so everyone knows that you're here. But really quick, before I officially introduce Dr. Romana Benkert, I want to give a disclaimer that neither myself nor any of my guests are being endorsed. Okay, so I want everyone to know that we're sharing our own knowledge and experience with hopes it will be educational and add value to everyone listening. But please remember to always consult your personal physician, okay? This show is for educational purposes only and not diagnosing purposes. Well, good morning, Dr. Benkert. How are you?
Good.
So to begin, please tell all the listeners briefly about your background, your name, your title, your years of experience, and what you do.
Okay, well, I heard you say how long you've been a nurse. I realized I've been a nurse for 42 years.
Wow.
I went to Mercy College, but I was a medical assistant before that.
Okay.
Went to nursing school. Then I went back and got a master's and became a nurse practitioner.
Nice.
And then went back to school and got a PhD in nursing. And now I am a associate dean of nursing at Wayne State University College of Nursing.
That is so awesome. Yes, I love it. So I always want everyone to know that my guests have, I call it the street cred. So everyone knows that the people who I invite on this show are credentialed and, well qualified to talk about the topics that we talk about. So this morning, we're having a discussion about all things nursing. May 1st through May 31st is National Nurses Month. And historically, this recognition began in 1974 as a proclamation from the White House for National Nurses Week. Now, fast forward to 1990, the American Nursing Association decided to designate May 6th through May 12th as the official celebration of Nurses Week. Then, fast forward to a few years ago, they again decided to extend the May 6th through May 12th week of recognition into a full month. So here we are. And of course, I'm very proud to be a registered nurse, and I love all of the perks that I received during this time, such as, at the hospitals, they'll give us free meals and stuff like that, or we'll get discounts on shopping products. I'll get different emails and, to celebrate Nurses Week. They'll give discounts and stuff like that to nurses. However, I want you all to know that celebrating National Nurses Month is deeper than that. First off, I want to share that over 33 million people are admitted into U.S. hospitals each year. And this data is from the American Hospital Association. You can go to AHA.org and pull it up. But what this also means is that Those 33 million patients will be cared for by nurses. Also, for the 21st consecutive year in a row, nurses have ranked in a Gallup poll to be the most honest and ethical profession. And this ranking really speaks about the unwavering commitment, professionalism, clinical expertise, and bravery that nurses display despite the serious challenges in healthcare. Nurses make it happen, and quite frankly, our healthcare system cannot function without nurses. So salute to all the 4 million registered nurses out there. This year's theme is You Make a Difference, and we honor the positive impact that nursing has on everyone's lives. So with all that being said, if you want to shout out any nurses that you know live on air, please call into the studio, 313-778-7600. Again, that number is 313-778-7600. Or if you want to share any stories of either you or a family member being a patient and the positive impact that a nurse had on your hospital stay or a doctor's office visit, then please share those stories with us. I want to hear how nurses are making a difference across the world. Meanwhile, with Dr. Benkert in the studio, I want to get into discussing nurse-managed clinics. So my first question is just break down what a nurse practitioner is in terms of the education required, the experience, the licensing, and everything that a nurse practitioner does.
Well, first, a nurse practitioner can be in any field. I happen to be what's called an adult nurse practitioner, so my education and training in my master's degree was about caring for adults, well, adolescents to older adults, but there are nurse practitioners who are in the neonatal field. There's nurse practitioners in psych mental health field. There's nurse practitioners in all the scope of fields that you can imagine for nursing. All nurse practitioners have to have at least a master's degree in nursing, and then almost all of them have at least 5 to 7 years, sometimes a little less, but often 5 to 7 years in nursing in their specialty before they go back to school to become a nurse practitioner. So I, for example, worked for about 5 years as a nurse practitioner or a nurse in the medical intensive care unit, and then went back to school to get my master's to be a nurse practitioner.
All right. So also, I want to talk about what are some clinical settings that you can find a nurse practitioner?
You can find them pretty much everywhere. So in a neonatal intensive care unit, in a psychiatric mental health hospital or a psychiatric mental health community health clinic, in an acute care setting like an ICU, in the hospital. I, for example, have worked in a primary care setting in internal medicine practice for my whole nurse practitioner career. So that's where I've worked. You can see them in women's health clinics like an obstetric gynecology. There's just any place you could find a nurse, you could find a nurse practitioner working.
Okay, let's talk about some of the ways that nurse practitioners are unique in providing comprehensive primary care.
Good question. The care that nurse practitioners deliver is, I think, as a nurse, different than you would find in a traditional sort of medicine practice. We not only talk to patients about their physical health care, but also their spiritual, their psychological, everything that affects them on a day-to-day basis. Where do they live? There's a whole discussion now about social determinants of health, as you probably well know.
Yes.
And so nurses bring all of that into the picture. Nurse practitioners bring that into the picture. They bring their nursing into their nurse practitioner role.
Let's talk about social determinants of health, because I told you I'm a nurse at a local hospital, and we use a charting system. And in that charting system, that's one of the pop-ups, the social determinants of health. And so those are issues that we're addressing in the care of patients. So let's just talk about that a little bit. Like, what is that actual definition, and how nurse practitioners work to address that?
Well, I could look up the definition, but it's that we usually use the World Health Organization definition, which means it's everything where people work, live, and play.
Right.
And so anything where people their address makes a difference, what kind of socioeconomic status they have, what sort of health, like the environment, if they live near a factory and the impact that has on one's health. All of those things are taken into consideration when you think of social determinants of health. How much education an individual has, all of that plays into how one can stay healthy.
Right. And one of the things, I just feel like there needs to be more education on nurse practitioners. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to, kind of loop this into celebrating and recognizing nurses for Nurses Month, because it's like you'll say, because I once studied to be a nurse practitioner. Actually, I'm 3 credits away, but then I know I'm so close. I know I should have finished, but then my mom had passed away, and it just really changed my life. So I was never able to mentally focus to go back to school for that. So, that's just something on the back burner for right now. But, when I would talk about being a nurse practitioner, people would be like, oh, okay, so you're going to be a doctor afterwards. They really didn't understand and grasp, the difference in how, nurse practitioner has its own pathway. So you want to kind of make the distinction a little bit more. Nurse practitioner, I don't know, maybe if you can go nurse practitioners do this, whereas physicians use this approach, nurse practitioners, and just so people can kind of understand the difference.
So I would say that for nurse practitioners, while we know all the many things, we do physical assessments, we write prescriptions, we do a lot of the same things that physicians do or physician assistants. But what I feel that nurse practitioners do different is that when they're talking with patients, it's really not just about, what blood pressure medication are you on? It's really, so how can you afford the medication? Do you like the medication? Is it causing a lot of side effects? So we go into a lot more detail about sort of a holistic perspective about it. As a nurse, all the things that nurses do.
Right.
It's sort of like taking the nurse and some of the medical pieces and merging them into one role. So.
I totally agree 100%. And we'll talk about that more when we come back. But we have to take our first commercial break. This is Nurse Charms Live. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation. Where are all my callers? Call in 313-778-7600. We are recognizing nurses, National Nurses Month. So please call in. We want to hear about all the great nurses that you know. We'll be right back.
My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 AM Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now. The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry. by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside A Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
So Gorgeous is the latest brand to hit the hair extension and wig market. Made from 100% human hair donors with textures to perfectly blend into your hair, giving you full, natural-looking styles with added volume and length. You can wash, color, curl, and straighten our gorgeous bundles and wigs. Shop our collection now at sosogorgeous.com and get ready to show off your gorgeous hair.
Happy National Nurses Month to nurses across the world. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to high-quality patient care. You truly make a difference every day in so many lives.
This is Nurse Charms Live. We are celebrating National Nurses Month, May 1st through May 31st. I have Dr. Benkert in studio with me. She is also a nurse, but she's an advanced nurse. She's a nurse practitioner. And so she is telling everyone about nurse-managed clinics. So I want everyone to know the impact that nurses have in primary care as an advanced practice nurse. So we're having that discussion, and also I'm asking callers if you know any nurses as your friends or coworkers or someone in your family, whatever. Call in and shout them out. We want to know all those great nurses. We want to use this platform, use this time to recognize nurses for National Nurses Month. So I see that I have some callers on the line, which is great. Y'all know I love my callers. I love all my faithful callers too. So please call in 313-778-7600. We want to hear from you. Let's see. We have John. Good morning, John. How are you?
Oh, good morning. Yeah, I just want to know what a nurse practitioner is.
All right.
Is it a government nurse or a regular nurse? It's like going to a doctor. When I was a kid, I'm 65 years old, we used to go to one doctor, Dr. Clayton, back in Pittsburgh. And it was one doctor. We got too much government involvement in our healthcare system. So if you're a nurse practitioner, are you practicing or are you a real nurse? That's all I have.
All right. All right, John, please continue to listen. We will answer your question right now because we have someone in studio who can answer that question.
So, yes, all nurse practitioners are real nurses. They, as I said, typically have 5 to 7 years of experience as a nurse, and then they go back to school and get a master's degree or higher, and are a nurse. They aren't government sponsored in any way, although there are nurse practitioners at the VA, which is a government healthcare system, but you can find nurse practitioners in every clinic across the country. So I hope that answers your question, John.
Yes, that was a great explanation. Sounds good to me. Let's get to our next caller. Good morning, PG. How are you?
Well, good morning. Happy Sunday and happy National Nurses Month to you and your guest this morning. I think that we as patients should encourage the people that take such good care of us to also take care of themselves. It's very nice when a nurse has taken care of you that you do give her a shout out or that you do show her your appreciation. But what I like about nurses, and especially a very good nurse, I like the fact that when they go from patient to patient, that they're very cognizant of washing their hands or sanitizing their hands and changing the gloves frequent. I like the fact that a nurse talks to that patient in that certain tone of voice that they need, because not only are people sick now, but they're sick emotionally. They're dealing with a lot of things. They're dealing with the loss of loved ones. They're dealing with a decline in their health and other financial status. And I just think that nurses are more than just nurses. They become confidants, counselors, friends. I want to make sure that the medical industry are paying you ladies what you deserve to be paid. You are a frontline worker. We need you. We value you. We appreciate you. Nurse practitioners are great. My mother wanted me to be a nurse practitioner, and then she talked about me being a physician's assistant, but I opted to go into the field of psychology. So I'm just saying I appreciate you. I know that all the other people in America appreciate you, but we've got to keep you guys safe.
Thank you so much.
I'm concerned about these mass shooters and where they're going and what they're doing and how you guys are doing everything. The hospital is doing everything, but we've got these people that are sick that's not doing the right thing. What does a nurse do? Or I should ask a question. What would a nurse do if she saw a mass shooter in the hospital right before he decided to release the rounds in his gun? How are you trained for that?
That's a great question. You want to go ahead and answer that?
Well, I don't. Typically in hospitals and like where I work at the university, there is active shooter training that we all receive.
We get active shooter training.
Mm-hmm. And it teaches you, what to do with who's in the room with you, to look around and survey, also to close certain doors. There's a whole process in which you're trained.
They even teach, because sometimes you have people are calling hospitals and saying there's a bomb, so they even teach us preparation for that. So they make sure we're well trained. That's in our orientation process. No nurse can actually come through there and take a job and work without getting that training. So I really respect hospitals for preparing us. I mean, now the reality is no preparation can ever prepare you for what's going to happen in real time, because, we know that people freeze out, freeze up, and they're like, oh my gosh, and it's like hindsight is 20/20. It's like you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do that? So, but you kind of have an oversight, of what to do, what emergency exits there are, how to protect the patients, because of course, we're there to protect the patients, but our safety has to come first. So, as long as we're safe, then we make sure we protect our patients. So, God forbid any situation like that to happen. I don't think we'll ever truly be prepared, for real life situations. So I just have to pray, but we do get training, though, to answer your question.
Okay, I appreciate that so much, Nurse Charms. And I just want to tell you, that you are our princess, and we love you so much. I want you to go ahead and do those hours and get that NP certification.
Thank you. I really appreciate your encouragement and all your support and kindness, PG.
And thank you to your guests for coming into the studio this early in the morning for us to listen to the valuable information and news that you are bringing us. Thank you so much to your guests as well.
Thank you very much.
All right. You have a great day, PG.
You too.
Thank you. Let's get to Tony. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
I'm wonderful. First of all, I want to congratulate my daughter. She's been an RN for 4, 5, 6 years.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to her.
Yes.
But right now she's in Minnesota studying to be a CRNA, which is an anesthesiologist nurse. She will be graduating in June.
Wow, that is so amazing. I mean, you have to be very, very smart to be a nurse practitioner, and there's a lot of liability with that. So kudos to her.
No, not a practitioner.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Both of them are amazing professions, but yes, a certified registered nurse anesthetist, yes, definitely admire anyone going into that field of nursing.
Yeah, it was very difficult. It led to a lot of crying and things, studying. But the other thing that I would like to say is there's different levels of nursing also. There's LPNs, CNAs, and RNs, and there's different facets of nursing such as kidneys and various specialties, because a lot of people do not like doing the bedside nursing, so there's variety, because the bedside nursing probably is the hardest,
that's what
challenging.
Yeah, that's what I do, the bedside nursing. And yes, it is stressful, especially with this nursing shortage. So you have patients come into the hospital, they need care. Doctors have to admit the patients. We can't let them go home because they're too sick, and we don't have enough nurses to take care of them. So now you're getting extra patients into your assignment, and, you know, it really is a lot. But, you know, what can we do? We have to take care of these patients, so we do our best.
Okay, the other thing that I would like to say to families of people that are hospitalized or being serviced by nurses, please have some empathy for the nurse. Your loved one is not the only one that they're responsible for. So all the anger, the cussing, the getting mad and taking it out on the nurse doesn't do any good. It just makes the job a lot more difficult and stressful.
Yeah.
From what my daughter has told me, everybody does their best, you know what I mean? And sometimes, not that your loved one is not a priority, right?
Right.
But depending on the severity, you know, bringing a glass of water versus giving somebody a shot or an insulin or
listen, Tony.
Cold blue.
Tony, listen, you're making some great points. Can you hang on the other side of the break? We got to take a hard break. Can you hang on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. You're listening to Nurse Charms Live. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Radio5.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
So Gorgeous is the latest brand to hit the hair extension and wig market. Made from 100% human hair donors with textures to perfectly blend into your hair, giving you full, natural-looking styles with added volume and length. You can wash, color, curl, and straighten our gorgeous bundles and wigs. Shop our collection now at SoSoGorgeous.com and get ready to show off your gorgeous hair.
Happy National Nurses Month to nurses across the world. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to high-quality patient care. You truly make a difference every day in so many lives.
910, the Superstation, Detroit's only African-American talk radio.
And we are back. This is Nurse Charms Live. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation. We are celebrating, we are recognizing nurses on my show today because May 1st through May 31st is National Nurses Month. So I have some callers on hold. Callers, if you want to call in, 313-778-7600. You can join the conversation. I'm going to get right back into my phone lines here. Tony, thank you for holding.
Yes. The other thing I would say is that your attitude or the person's attitude may hinder their patient's care, not because they're not cognizant of your patient's problems, but if you don't let that nurse or whoever finish their procedure, they have to be polite enough to listen to you. So therefore, they can't give your patient the pill or shot or whatever, because if you were to be ignored, you're going to be very output. So I would suggest that when people go to the hospital and they have questions, 1, be courteous. 2, have some of your questions written down. Let them finish what they're doing before you start interfering with what they're trying to get done, because that's the care, right? And I understand your care for your patient. And remember, your person is not the only person in the hospital.
Yes, that's so true, because when I'm taking care of my patients, sometimes, like, everybody should know by now, you know, there's a nursing crisis. We are definitely short-staffed all across the board, Michigan, every state in the United States. And sometimes the call lights will go off, and unfortunately, we cannot get there that immediate second. You know, we always try our best. Like, I'll pop out of a patient's room. I'll go answer my call light quickly, you know, find out what it is. If it's something urgent, you know, let them know. I'll get there. I'm in the middle of something. I'll be right back. You know, it's just hard, you know what I'm saying? But we have to prioritize, and we have to do the best that we can, because I don't want the message to be that your loved one isn't getting great care, because they're going to get great care just from the nature of being a nurse. I mean, that's just what we do. It's just in our character to actually, there'll be some times, I'm sure that Dr. Benkert can agree with me. It's like you have to go to the bathroom, and you'll hold that off because you're so busy, especially in the ICU. You'll hold that off and I'm not saying that this is a good thing to do, but we just do it because we care so much for others that we'll hold off going to the bathroom just so we can continue doing what we're doing to take care of that patient. So with that being said, you're going to get great care. Your loved ones are going to get great care. But like you said, they just have to have some patience with us because we are working very short staffed and we're trying to do the best that we can.
And how many days do you go without lunch or putting it off?
That's true. That's another thing. And then I work night shifts, so the cafeterias are closed. So I have to bring my lunch, or sometimes I shouldn't say they're closed. They're open for like maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours tops. So if I can't get down during that time because I'm busy, then I just don't eat, or you know what I'm saying, because there's nothing else to eat if I don't bring anything. We have to go to the vending machine. So that's not really healthy. But yeah, it's like my priority is going to always be my patients because, you know, my license is on the line. You know, I don't ever want someone to be like, well, this got missed, this got neglected. So I'm always conscientious about putting my patients first.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, you have a great day, and please continue to listen. All right, let's get to Hill. Good morning, Hill. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, PG asked about security, and you probably know, she might not know. Every hospital has armed security guards. Most of them are retired officers at the hospital. There's no way some psychopath would get into the hospital. They would terminate him right there at the door. Now, if some nut was in the parking lot, you know, that's another matter.
Right.
But you're not going to have to. They're going to engage. He's going to be terminated. Right. And I want to say, shout out to my nurses at Providence Hospital, Southfield.
Oh, great. Yes, that's a great hospital.
Mm-hmm. They took care of me. I was there for 3 days.
Oh, wow. Was this recently or long time ago?
No, this was a couple years ago.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad you got great care by our nurses.
Please believe they were not going to let some nut enter the hospital.
Yes. That's very true. I'm glad you pointed that out. I should have pointed that out as well. Yes. Hospitals.
He will be terminated.
Right. There's cameras. There's cameras everywhere.
Well, they don't care if they're on camera.
Oh yeah, that's true. People don't care if they're on camera these days.
But you're safe in the hospital. You know that.
Right.
In the parking lot, that's another matter.
Well, they have cameras, of course, in the parking lot. But you're right. Yeah. I mean, they'll have like security kind of roam in the parking lot.
They do, yeah. But you never know what some psychopath is going to do at any moment. So especially what's going on, this stuff they're smoking.
Right. Yeah, because.
So shout out to my nurses.
Yes, thank you so much for that.
You're safe in the hospital. Don't worry.
Thank you for recognizing nurses, and thank you for the reassurance that patients are safe. Yes, they will call something overhead, and I mean, you will have every security officer in the hospital be there in less than a second. I mean, they have designated stations. I'm probably giving too much out, but they have designated stations throughout the hospital. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Hospitals are secure.
Most are retired officers. They will sacrifice themselves, and they will take them out.
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
Another profession that really needs a shout out, really, our security and police force.
Right,
and
law enforcement. Yeah,
huge,
for sure.
Huge for us.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Hill.
My nurses, you have a fantastic day, my nurses.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
PG. Hey, PG, are you there?
Yes, I am. I called back to say that Hill is correct. At Providence Hospital, most of the security guards are former Southfield police officers, and I think they may be the only or one of a few hospitals that also employ a canine dog that can sniff for the various things that most canine dogs are able to do and perform in their police duty. So I'm well aware of that, but I don't know of a hospital based on the size that would have what we would say enough security to handle a situation if the person made it inside. So even though hospitals do have security, we still need to look at the level of training. What if the security guard is not a former police officer? We still need to pay attention to that, but the focus is on National Nurses Month, and we just want to make sure that when our healthcare professionals come into their work environment, that they can be safe enough to take care of us, and we want to be safe. So, Hill, I do thank you for your call and for saying that and acknowledging that Providence Hospital does have a lot of retired law enforcement officers working their security team.
Yes. Thank you, PG.
Don't forget, get those credits.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So let's just get back into our discussion. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics is predicting that more than 203K nurses will be needed every year through 2026 to fill in the gap of retiring workforce. So let's talk about what we can do to prepare for a nursing shortage, what we can do as, just nurses in terms of, referring people. We know what hospital administration could be doing, what nursing schools can be doing, because from what I'm hearing, and you could probably validate this or not kind of in general, you don't have to speak from any particular school's perspective, but just in general from what you know, I'm hearing that the real shortage is the shortage of nursing faculty, because there's not enough faculty to, one, you have to clinical setting, you have to prepare these nurses. You were talking about the clinical experience. You need faculty to train them in these hospitals. And then you just need faculty to, teach them in general, all the fundamentals and stuff like that. So what can we do? Let's get into that discussion.
Yeah. So you are exactly right. The people are often not aware that the faculty shortage, nursing faculty shortage, is actually worse than the nursing shortage as a whole. And so one of the things that actually the government's been doing is offering what are called nurse faculty loan repayment programs, in which once you're in school to get a master's or a doctorate in nursing practice, or a PhD.
Oh, wait, what? I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right there, because we got to take a hard break, but we'll get into your answer on the other side of the break. So you are listening to Nurse Charms Live. This is 910 AM Superstation. We are going to take a quick commercial break. Callers, call in and get in on this discussion. The number here in studio is 313-778-7600. We will be right back.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 AM Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now. The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
So Gorgeous is the latest brand to hit the hair extension and wig market. Made from 100% human hair donors with textures to perfectly blend into your hair, giving you full, natural-looking styles with added volume and length. You can wash, color, curl, and straighten our gorgeous bundles and wigs. Shop our collection now at SoSoGorgeous.com and get ready to show off your gorgeous hair.
And we are back. This is Nurse Charms Live. We are celebrating National Nurses Month, May 1st through May 31st. I wanted to use this show today to recognize nurses across the world. So callers, please call in 313-778-7600. Recognize those nurses that you know, whether they're your family members, their friends, or just people who have taken care of you while you had a hospital stay, or maybe your family member had a hospital stay. We want to recognize those nurses on my platform today. And also, I have Dr. Benkert in studio with me. She is an advanced nurse practitioner. She's an advanced nurse. She's a nurse practitioner, and she is just telling us all about the profession of nurse practitioner. So callers, if you want to understand more about what a nurse practitioner is, what they do, types of patients they treat, what's the difference between a nurse practitioner and a physician, why is there even nurse practitioners, whatever questions you may have, please call in 313-778-7600. We want to hear from you. But before the break, Dr. Benkert, you were getting into some things, so just go right ahead. Keep talking.
So I was saying, we were talking about the fact that the faculty shortage is worse than the nursing shortage. And a lot of it has to, I mean, you know, myself, all of us in our age group are retiring and not working in the field. So what the government has created are these nurse faculty loan programs, and they're not a loan in the sense that you owe it all when you're done, but what you can do is work as a faculty for 4 years after you finish your degree, and the loan is paid off by working as a faculty, and that could be in a community college, it could be at a university, any place where their nurses are trained, and so the government is putting money into that. But as we were talking at the break, it's a huge crisis that I think isn't getting enough press and attention that it really needs. There's the term that they're using is sort of in the nursing world, and it's a cliff. There's going to be this like cliff that happens in the next 2 to 3 years, in which there aren't enough nurses, and many nurses at my age are retiring, and there aren't enough coming into the field to replace the nurses that are being lost due to retirement.
Right. So what are some ideas that you can think of that can help curb this impending nursing shortage? What are some ideas? Because as we know, it's hard to get into nursing school. It's not like you can just, push nurses through nursing school. I mean, you have to have the grades. That's one of the things. You have to be committed. You have to have a certain type of personality and character to even want to go into nursing. So how can we make the profession more attractive? I mean, this is like a huge conversation in itself. So let's just kind of get into this. What are some of your ideas and thoughts?
Well, I think one of the things that I think is working well is there's a whole new process where community colleges are actually training high school students to get they get sort of their associate's degree while they're in high school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually we have at Wayne State something called a direct admit program, and we're getting students who did their associate's degree in nursing while they were in high school, and then they come in to get a bachelor's degree with us here at Wayne State University. And so I think that's a great pipeline process.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of men and women interested in nursing, but like you said, it's really hard to get in. But if they can do the associate's degree piece while they're in high school, then they can transition right into nursing immediately after graduating.
Right.
So that's one possibility. The other, I think, is just really like your show. I mean, getting people to really understand the value of what nurses bring to the healthcare system. I think during the pandemic, there were a lot of nurses who sort of got exhausted and burnt out.
Right.
But I think we're sort of past that.
Right.
But I also think that health systems need to really, not just during the month of May,
right,
but really value and understand the work that nurses do 24/7, 365. I think that would be really beneficial.
Right. It's really the appreciation piece, and I think unfortunately we lost that because we saw, with the virus and everything going on, how nurses had to wear the same mask, for like a whole week and see all these different patients. Nurses didn't have the appropriate PPE. And so a lot of people just really got burnt out and felt undervalued. And although the pay was good, I mean, I have some friends who were making like $10K a week as a travel nurse. And, that was the crisis pay. Of course, that's not the salary. I don't want anyone to be misinformed. That is not the usual salary of a nurse. That was under crisis conditions, but they were getting $10K a month. I mean, just these ridiculous amounts of money, and that made the profession attractive. But at the same time, it didn't really last long because people were burnt out. I mean, like every last patient you had the virus, and so it's just really stressful. So I think that just from administrative perspective, hospital, like all the people at the top, just really showing nurses that you appreciate them. And sometimes, it's not so much like a pizza party or anything like that. I mean, just listening to them. Magnet hospitals are really good because those are hospitals that, they support nurses. They give nurses a voice. Nurses are involved in the decisions that are being made in those hospitals. So I think that's a really good environment to work in, one where you feel valued and appreciated. And like if some big decisions are going to be made, it's like, okay, let's hear from nursing, because it's like when you're a nurse, it's like you're some of everything, because especially when you're working in a hospital, you have to put out so many fires. You have not literal fires, but just so much problem solving has to be done. And, it's like you're every type of resource just combined into one. So it's really a lot. You have any comments on that?
No, I agree. I think hospitals that have sort of nurse governing or nurse practice boards that they meet regularly with the nursing administration as well as hospital administration are really a way for the institutions to show that they respect what the nurses have to offer as far as advice and direction for how they can improve patient care, provide good care. I think those really, really do help nurses really feel like they're having some input rather than just not getting recognized on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Let's get into the aspect of robots being integrated into human life. We've been hearing, looks like we're going to take a break. We are approaching our second hour. Oh my gosh, this show is going by so fast. If you want to call in, the number here in studio is 313-778-7600. Y'all should just have that number stored in your phone. I shouldn't even have to say it. Y'all should know it. But anyways, call us here in studio. We are live. This is Nurse Charms Live. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you on the other side of 7 o'clock. This show is going by fast.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Happy National Nurses Month to nurses across the world. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to high-quality patient care. You truly make a difference every day in so many lives.
WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit, 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The weekend lineup on 910 AM is crazy.
I am your host, Nurse Charms, the nurse of morning radio, here to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. Listen, information is power and information is currency, so we do not do misinformation over here. Stay locked in with me, and I promise that you will not be disappointed. From 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., chime in on the discussions that we have on this show so we can hear from you.
910 AM Superstation. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
This is Nurse Charms Live. If you are listening, we have reached our second hour. So that means you still have 1 hour to call my show, 313-778-7600. Yes, I am live here in the 910 AM Superstation studios. The number here, again, is 313-778-7600. So please call into my show. Today, I am recognizing nurses all across the world as I celebrate National Nurses Month, May 1st through May 31st. So callers, if you know any nurses and you want to recognize them, please call into the show. But right before the break, I was asking the question. I want to get into the discussion about AI technology in nursing and well, just the field of healthcare in general. Now, I'm just kind of giving my viewpoint here. I really don't have much knowledge. It's not like AI technology is being used yet. And I say yet because, it is what it is. AI technology is going to take place in almost every aspect of human life. So I want to get into that discussion. So what are your thoughts on AI technology? Of course, I don't feel that we can really use it to replace nursing, but they have came out with, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's Grace. It's called Grace. They call her Grace, and it's a robot. It's an AI robot, and it's very human-like. And I don't know if they're trying to, make this a thing. But what are your thoughts on that? Creating robots and this whole AI technology. Do you think it could ever replace us?
That's a really good question. I hadn't really thought about that. I'm not sure any robot could eventually replace human thinking. But maybe I'm not as
You're
up
very
on the
traditional,
AI.
right?
Yeah, I'm very traditional in my thinking about that.
Right.
I do think, with the advent of, some of the things you can look up online and kind of get answers to questions health, there's got to be some way you can get some immediate information, but I don't know. I can't imagine a robot replacing some of particularly like the human caring piece that nurses bring, but I could be very old school and not be thinking about it as broadly as I should.
Yeah. So it's just going to be interesting to see how AI technology plays out in the future in general, and especially in healthcare. If you have any thoughts on that, please call in. Again, the number here is 313-778-7600. Let's just get back into our phone lines. We have Sylvia. Good morning, Sylvia. How are you?
Good morning, beautiful ladies.
Hey.
I was just listening yesterday on a conference call, and they were saying that because of the lack of staffing of nurses, that they're bringing in a lot of Philippine nurses to the country.
You are 100% right. There is actually a local hospital that is piloting that, and they have brought in some hundreds of nurses from the Philippines to help curb the nursing shortage. So we'll just have to see how that goes, right? I don't know much about it, but yeah, that is one of the things that they're doing. Yeah.
And I don't feel comfortable, with the AI technology. I've seen so many really scary movies with this technology because not only will they be replacing humans, but it could be very dangerous because, first of all, you got to remember that all this technology is still being programmed by a human being.
Right.
And now you're going to make the people robots, and the robots are going to be the humans. It's kind of like a reverse thing, and it's scary to think that technology is supposed to be replace humans, and they don't. How would they have the love and the care and the personal touch that ones would need when they're trying to heal?
I
think it's kind of spooky to me.
Yeah, that's very true in terms of having a robot. But I know the AI piece, like right now, there's so many different facets to this, but like what we're seeing now, I think it's like the photo piece. And what they're doing is you can use like AI photography. So it's kind of like almost a Photoshop thing. And they're using it to you take one, you can take a picture of someone and you can put it like on a whole different type of background. And I think that's how we're seeing some of the AI technology now. But then they're making some more advancements in it. So I don't know. We just have. I'm not.
Well, listen,
I'm not really big
also,
into that, huh?
Also, remember that movie RoboCops, and they might be replacing the popos too.
Actually, I did see them. I did see something on the news. There was a new robot. I forget what city it was in. I know it wasn't Michigan, but there was like some. Oh, I think it was in New York. Yeah, I think it was in New York. There's some new robot that they created. And it was crazy because it was like so human-like. And they're using that robot to kind of help stop crime. So that was interesting.
And another thing, the drones. The drones are, when they put all those weapons in those drones and they program them to go to another country or to a destination to, fight wars. And I just think the technology is kind of scary because, again, a human being is the one that's programming and building these things. So it's still not going to be safe for us.
Right.
It's not, I just don't think it's that safe.
Right. So we'll have to stay tuned to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
I'm going to be praying.
Yes. Pray for the world, please.
Yeah, because I know that people are in a hurry to go to George Jetson, from Flintstone to George Jetson. But I see a lot. I see some room for some serious errors.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that ethical discussion
my
about
call.
that.
Congratulations to you all, and thank you for doing what you do. And I know that a lot of times it could be very challenging too.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. I really appreciate it. And thank you for recognizing nurses.
All right. Love y'all.
Love you too. All right. Take care. Have a great day. Please continue to listen. So Dr. Benkert, let's just get back into our discussion about nurse practitioners. I really want to talk about like preventative management, chronic diseases. Talk about like some a typical care that a nurse practitioner could offer, and also like interdisciplinary care, things like that.
Sure. So, well, I think it's best to sort of give an example of. So, I volunteer as a nurse practitioner at the Cabrini Clinic, St. Francis Cabrini Clinic, which is for individuals who are undocumented in this country and can't get health care somewhere else. And so on a typical visit, so I would see someone, talk to them about their blood pressure, what are they doing to manage their blood pressure, are they taking their medications, talk about their diet. But also in that same vein, we will talk about, if it's a woman, for example, has she had a mammogram? Has she had her pap smear? Is she up to date on her immunizations if she needs them? What is she doing with regards to just general taking care of herself? So it's not just, here's your medication for your blood pressure, but taking care of all the other sort of preventative health care needs that they may need, so that we can catch those things before they become a serious, that's the point of preventative health care and preventative testing, is to really make sure you catch things before they become a serious condition.
Right, absolutely. Now, let's talk about same-day appointments. Can people get a same-day appointment with the nurse practitioner, or is this something you just have to schedule in advance? Or does it depend on like what setting you're in? Like if you're in an urgent care clinic, or if you're in something like a community clinic, like where you said you volunteer?
Yes, it does depend on the setting. It's more driven by that. So like we also, at the College of Nursing, we also own and operate the Campus Health Center on Wayne State's campus. And so students, for example, or faculty can do same-day appointments there because we allow it at that place. But at Cabrini, they also will do some same-day, but some sites won't. It just depends on the site itself. Urgent care, of course, is a walk-in same-day appointment situation. So it just varies by the particular setting and where they're operating procedures that they take care of. So
what are some types of insurance policies, or does nurse practitioners take insurance?
Yeah, so all settings will take all kinds of insurances. It's really more what the insurance will cover. So, for example, at our clinic, I don't know if you know, we also have a primary care clinic in the Virginia Park neighborhood called the Taylor Primary Care Clinic.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is this in Detroit?
It's in Detroit on Taylor Street, kind of where Herman Kiefer used to be, if you're familiar with where Herman Kiefer
Oh, that's good. Was. Talk about that, because a lot of listeners from the station live in Detroit, and they would love, I'm sure that they would love to know more resources, for healthcare. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a primary care clinic that's at 1550 Taylor Street, which is actually housed within Central Detroit Christian Community Development Corporation. They actually rehabbed an old Baptist church.
Okay.
And now it's a community setting, but there's a primary care clinic there that patients can be seen. It's right in the Virginia Park neighborhood. And we do, we do same-day appointments. We do scheduled appointments, whatever's needed, and we take care of individuals from babies all the way to older adults. So it's a full scope primary care clinic like you would see anywhere else.
And these are all nurse managed clinics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the way nurse managed clinics work is that because many of the insurers and some of the care delivery requires may go outside of our scope of practice. So, for example, if someone comes in and they have seriously ill and uncontrolled congestive heart failure, for example, we have a physician consultant who is also there she's there so many hours a week, but the rest of the days of the week, it's a nurse practitioner that's delivering the care. We also have a social worker on site who provides sort of the mental health, so we do the primary care and the mental health service simultaneously, and we can sort of transfer patients from, if they're being seen by one of the nurse practitioners and we realize there's some other psychosocial issue going on, we can immediately, sort of what we call a warm handoff, to take them down to social work and meet with that person. So
that's awesome. Let's talk about the battle for prescriptive authority in Michigan. I mean, this is a really hot topic. I know the Michigan Nurses Association is involved with this. So let's just kind of talk about where we are with that, and currently what nurse practitioners can and cannot do, and what this battle is about. Shoot, we gotta take another break. Oh my gosh, this is just going by so fast, but that's fine. We still got time, and callers, you still have time. The number in the studio here is 313-778-7600. So please call in, join this discussion, and I will finish my thought on the other side of the break. This is Nurse Charms Live. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Southfield Councilman Michael Mandelbaum. For the entire month of May, we will remember our African American brothers and sisters who lost their lives in the Tulsa Race Massacre.
Over a century ago, from May 31st to June 1st, a black Holocaust happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma's Greenwood District, also known as Black Wall Street. This is considered one of the deadliest massacres in American history. This moment in time is brought to you by Southfield Councilman Michael Mandelbaum.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
So Gorgeous is the latest brand to hit the hair extension and wig market. Made from 100% human hair donors with textures to perfectly blend into your hair, giving you full, natural-looking styles with added volume and length. You can wash, color, curl, and straighten our gorgeous bundles and wigs. Shop our collection now at sosogorgeous.com and get ready to show off your gorgeous hair.
Happy National Nurses Month to nurses across the world. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to high-quality patient care. You truly make a difference every day in so many lives.
This is Nurse Charms Live. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation Radio. We are into our second hour. Callers, you can still call the show, 313-778-7600. I have Dr. Benkert in studio with me. She is an advanced practice nurse. She's a nurse practitioner. And if you have any questions about nurse practitioner, please call in and ask them while she's here. Before the break, I was just getting ready to get into a discussion about the prescriptive authority in Michigan and where that stands. So since you're a nurse practitioner, you can speak to this. First, break down what is prescriptive authority. What does that even mean to the profession? And then break down like this ongoing battle in order to get prescriptive authority rights for nurse practitioners. So let's just talk about that right now.
So prescriptive authority means that as a independent educated professional as a nurse, that you can write a prescription that will be accepted by any pharmacy across the state. Currently, nurse practitioners have prescriptive authority in Michigan for certain medications, not for all medications. So prescriptions that are what they call controlled substances.
Like narcotics.
You need to have a co-signature or at least a collaborative arrangement with a physician in order to write those types of medications. But all the other medications, such as blood pressure medications, antibiotics, nurse practitioners can write those prescriptions without having to get co-signatures from a physician. The current bill that was just introduced, Senate Bill 279, was really intended to expand the allowance of nurse practitioners to practice without a physician necessarily in the site in practice, which is common in like 31 states across the country. Mm-hmm. So in Washington, Oregon, Arizona, New Mexico, nurse practitioners can have their own practice without having to have a consulting physician. And that's because there's such a shortage and need for access to primary care nurse practitioners are allowed to do these so that they can provide more care to more people, particularly individuals who are under or uninsured, is really where the point of having expanded scope goes.
And we love our physicians, so no offense to the physicians, but I mean, I'm the type of person, I'm gonna always be transparent and call it what it is. And the reality is that some of the pushback with this is coming from the physician professional groups, and I guess just the control. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would say that's actually true. And it's interesting because physicians who have worked with nurse practitioners day in and day out support it 100%. I think that's just a concern, fear maybe that nurse practitioners could take over, all of primary care, or all of healthcare, which will never happen.
Right? Yeah. Because, like I said at the beginning of the show, there are two different pathways: a physician and a nurse practitioner. It's two different pathways, so it's not even a thing where you'll go see a physician and all of the physicians will just become obsolete because nurse practitioners are taking over. No, it's total two different pathways. So just want to make that clear. But yeah, some of the pushback is coming from the physicians group, and they're in Lansing. I'm just talking about here in Michigan. They're in Lansing and they're rallying, weekly, monthly, whatever, to push these bills forward. I know when I was in nursing school some years ago, all this stuff was going on. So the fact that we're getting closer, is a win. And I'm sure that most of with any bill, it takes years and years. We will hope that, you could just write something and get it passed through. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. This is politics. There's all this bickering and decisions that goes back and forth. So it does take a while. But honestly, I would love to see nurse practitioners to be able to just practice 100% independently, not have any type of physician oversight. But unfortunately, in the state of Michigan, there is still that, connection, like you're kind of like joint at the hip, so to speak.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I, having been a nurse practitioner for many, many years, probably I just realized it's been about 35 years I've been a nurse practitioner. And I think, nurse practitioners are trained in their educational process, as you know, because you're almost there with only 3 credits left.
I know.
You're trained to know when it's out of your league. Right. And refer as appropriate, just as if a family physician, for example, who is taking care of someone who has severely uncontrolled blood pressure, they would refer them to a hypertension specialist because they know that what they're doing isn't working, and so let's refer on. I think all nurse practitioners know to do that.
Right. If there's like some rare disease process that you were never trained in, it's like, okay, I'm not even going to touch this. Let's get the physicians on board, depending on what area that body organ that you're dealing with was covering. So yeah, it's two separate things. So I don't know. But so let's get back to this bill in Michigan. So where are they at right now? Because this has been going on for a long process, trying to give nurses independent prescriptive authority. So where are we at right now?
Yeah, so I was just looking at my phone here. So on April 20th, Senate Bill 279 was introduced by several senators, and it's now at the Senate Health Policy Committee to be looked at and reviewed, and they take testimony from, all community members, from so if you're a patient of someone who's a nurse practitioner, they would be, we would be very pleased to have you contact your senator and representative and tell them that you really like having a nurse practitioner. But they also take testimony from physicians and nurses. So that's kind of where it's at right now, and hoping to have more senators join on to the bill.
Okay. So since you're actually practicing in the city of Detroit, let's just get into some of the big diagnoses you are seeing and what you're doing to treat those. Let's take this opportunity to provide some, nurse education from a provider perspective of what they can do to treat. Like, I don't know, name like maybe the top 3 things you're seeing.
Well, the top three things that I see are hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol. I would say one of the most not talked about enough condition that I think we need to be talking more about is chronic kidney disease, because a lot of individuals who have just hypertension, for example, can get chronic kidney disease, and I don't think people are aware of it. So I do a lot of education around looking at people's blood levels to determine whether they've had any impact on their kidneys from hypertension. I would say that's probably the biggest thing that I think needs a lot of education and a lot of discussion.
One of the things I'm seeing, in addition to those big ones, well, I guess obesity. Obesity is a huge crisis. I'm like most of my patients, most of them are obese. So that's a big crisis because it leads to so many, health disparities when you're obese. Another thing that may seem like something small, but it's really also a big thing. A lot of my patients I see have dental caries. A lot of them are missing teeth. So, your oral health is important as well. So let's just kind of get into what are some things that patients could do to prevent some of these big diseases. Let's speak about obesity, for instance.
Well, I think certainly, looking at one's diet, first off, is really, really important. And I don't mean you cut out foods 100%, but there's a lot of sort of empty calories that we all, we're all guilty of, but we all ingest on a daily basis that probably contributes to calorie consumption. I know I have a couple of patients that drink a lot of, those energy drinks, right? They have not just caffeine, but lots of sugar and content. And so I think there's some empty calories that we get by doing that.
What can we do to encourage people to read nutrition labels? I mean, you have it there. It's plain as day, but I think that people really, from my experience, people really don't understand what this means. I think when they put those nutrition labels on, boxes, packagings, whatever, it's not really clear. It'll say like sodium. Okay, something has 300 sodium. We know that's way over the limit of how much sodium that you should have. But it doesn't have like a range. Like, okay, so what's a normal range? Like, I feel like they need to totally revise those labels, or I doubt if that'll happen, but we probably need to do more in educating patients, what's normal and what to look for when you're reading these nutrition labels. So you'll know like something to be red flag. Okay, can't have this. As good as it looks, can't have this.
Right. That's an excellent start. I think people do need to begin to sort of investigate what's on the label. And just to know that, I mean, they recommend that you not have more than 2,000 milligrams.
I'm sorry to cut you short. We have to take a hard break. We have to go to break. This is Nurse Charms Live. I don't mean this. This is Nurse Charms Live. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation. I always do the countdown. So it looks like we have less than 30 minutes left. So if you want to get in on our discussion, please call us 313-778-7600. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 AM Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now. The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside a Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
So Gorgeous is the latest brand to hit the hair extension and wig market. Made from 100% human hair donors with textures to perfectly blend into your hair, giving you full, natural-looking styles with added volume and length. You can wash, color, curl, and straighten our gorgeous bundles and wigs. Shop our collection now at SoSoGorgeous.com and get ready to show off your gorgeous hair.
The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone. Or watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Happy National Nurses Month to nurses across the world. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to high-quality patient care. You truly make a difference every day in so many lives.
910, the Superstation, Detroit's only African-American talk radio.
And we are back. You are listening to Nurse Charms Live. This is 910 AM Superstation. I have live in studio with me Dr. Benkert, who is a registered nurse, who is also an advanced practice nurse, who is also a nurse practitioner. I have to make those distinguishes because I want people to understand what a nurse practitioner is. That is someone who is an advanced practice nurse. They have a higher level of degree, a higher level of experience, a higher level of just practice and provider abilities in general. So that is one of the things we've been discussing throughout this show. And of course, it's National Nurses Month, May 1st through May 31st. So I've just been highlighting callers. You can call in, highlight anyone you know who is a registered nurse, and just kind of give them their flowers, shout them out, let them know that you appreciate them for all the work that they do. We have like 20 minutes left of this show, so it's not too late. You still have some time. 313-778-7600. So before the break, Dr. Benkert was just going over some of the big diagnoses that she sees in the clinic that she works, and nurse practitioners can diagnose patients. That's one of the difference between RN and an advanced practice nurse. She can actually make a clinical assessment and diagnose a patient, then write a treatment plan for them. So let's just get into that. And then you were also talking about, the nutrition, and then the topic of food deserts came up on the break. So go ahead, let's just talk.
Yeah, so we were talking initially about sort of the labels, looking at the nutrition labels. But yes, at the break we were talking about Detroit is considered to have large pockets of what are called food deserts. So there are areas in which individuals can't or don't have access to healthy, fresh foods readily available. Now that's changing quickly. There are some of the major chains that have moved into the city. I know there's a Myers or something being built right near 8 Mile and Woodward. But there's large pockets where the only access to food is either through a local market that is maybe even just a general sort of pharmacies or liquor store or something that has unhealthy food often in there. So I know that there's a big movement to try to do that, along with neighborhood gardening and farming. I'm a part of a couple of organizations that have a farmers market on a regular basis in the various parts of the city, but it is considered a food desert in large areas, which creates lack of access to really good, healthy food.
Right. So, what are some of the other diagnoses that you have to give out? I know there's several.
Well, because I'm a woman, a lot of the female patients come if they want to have care delivered by a woman, for gynecological care. And so I see a lot of, infections and, again, talk to women a lot about getting their own regular checkups for pap smears and mammograms and just trying to think of some other diagnoses. I can't think of a real. I think we just see the big common ones.
The guidelines are always changing. So, what are you recommending now for checkup? Because at first it was like go see your doctor every year, and then that changed. Well, you don't have to automatically just go see your doctor at certain age groups. So you want to kind of break down. I know there's this thing called Healthy People 2000, or it's switched. You probably know more about it than me because I'm like out of the whole academic world. But what are some of those guidelines and just like what we should be doing in terms of your preventative maintenance? So let's let everybody know, checkups for this point in time, for men and versus women.
So
all the scheduled
right.
checkups, yeah.
So for women, yes, they did recently change the guidelines with regards to pap smears and things like that for women because of the whole HPV virus. They've learned a lot now, which is what was the purpose of a pap smear in the first place, was to see whether they now know that's the cause for cervical cancer.
Right.
So they changed the guideline because they know that the virus doesn't cause these changes immediately, and they were finding that it was causing more trauma and problems for the woman.
Right.
So they've delayed that, and you don't really need to get your first true pap smear until you're in your 20s. But that doesn't mean you don't go in for an exam if you think you have an infection or something like that. But you wouldn't actually need the pap smear. And then mammograms, those begin at age 40. And then every year starting at age 50, that women should be getting a mammogram. For men, over the age of 45, if you're African American or Hispanic Latino descent, you should be getting a PSA. For all white men and everybody else, it's more at the age of 50. You should get an annual PSA, prostate specific antigen. Sorry, thank you. Get used to the lingo you say it.
Right. We abbreviate everything in the nursing and medical profession.
Yeah, get your own lingo, huh?
Right.
And then for those who don't have diabetes or haven't been diagnosed, you should be getting your blood pressure checked. Get what they call a hemoglobin A1C, which is a blood sugar test that tells you what your blood sugar is. You should get that started at around 35, and then probably more frequently if it runs in your family. And then blood pressure should be checked every couple of years by your primary care provider.
Yeah. What about eye exam? Because I don't think people know about eye exams, or they just kind of get it. They don't get it routinely. They just kind of get it when they have a problem. So Or is that something that occurs with your regular physical? Or did we say how often you should just get a regular physical?
It depends on your age. And when you're sort of between the ages of 18 and, say, 35, you probably don't need an annual physical. You probably could do it every 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have conditions that run in your family, then there are certain lab tests, like I said, the blood sugar test and the cholesterol test. Those should be run every 3 to 5 years.
Oh, okay. All right, let's just get back into our call lines. And callers, if you want to call in, again, the number's 313-778-7600. Good morning, Emery. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, ladies? How you doing?
Doing excellent. Great to hear your voice.
Oh, yeah. The nose surgery, that's going to be, what is it? Oh, God, I got a date. What is it? Not the date. End of the month. So that's on the elbow, and then next thing you know, my knee, I'll be out for like 5 months.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, digging. But I'll be back. So, here's a question for you.
Sure.
Really quick. I'm going to be personal. I have a vasectomy. And what's crazy is that I ended up having a vasectomy at 27 years old, believe it or not.
Oh, you were one and done, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. That was it. Look at you. So And my question is there a danger, if you will, for me because I'm getting up there, and I was wondering if there's any side effects from it at a later age. Like I said, I've had it for a long time. My doctor did pretty well. So what I'm saying is that I'm just saying as far as like residual issues, maybe later on down the road or something like that, do I need to have it reversed or anything like that? So I just wanted to ask you guys a question like that. I know you can't give me legal stuff, but, just if you can, I'm all ears. So I'll shut up and thank you guys so much for taking my call, okay?
All right. Thank you. Please continue to listen. We appreciate your question.
Will do.
Right. We do not give medical advice. I always say that at the beginning of the show. Let me clarify. We do give healthcare advice, but we're not diagnosing anybody on this show. So if you're listening to this show and saying, oh, Nurse Charm said this, so I got this and I don't have to go to my doctor. No, that's not what this is about. We are giving healthcare advice. We are real professionals and we are licensed. We are licensed medical and nurse professionals, so we can give you advice. Okay, so you want to answer Emery's question?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know that I've never heard of anything causing a long-term complication from having had a vasectomy at a younger age. As far as a long-term male problem, to my knowledge, I don't know.
Right. In general, when you get because the vasectomy is an outpatient procedure. Mm-hmm. Not that I've had one. I don't want to speak on it like that. I'm just saying in general from patients that I know it's a outpatient procedure, and generally, I can't even finish my thought. Break time. So I'll talk about that on the other side of the break, and that will be our last and final break, y'all. So if you want to call in, 313-778-7600. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is PG.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive active patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy. For months and months and months, I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not, but I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
So Gorgeous is the latest brand to hit the hair extension and wig market. Made from 100% human hair donors with textures to perfectly blend into your hair, giving you full, natural-looking styles with added volume and length. You can wash, color, curl, and straighten our gorgeous bundles and wigs. Shop our collection now at SoSoGorgeous.com and get ready to show off your gorgeous hair.
And we are back. This is Nurse Charms Live. You are listening to 910 AM Superstation. I have Dr. Benkert in studio with me. Before the break, Emery, one of my faithful callers, and he's actually a co-host here at 910 as well. So I know he's still listening because he wants to know his answer. So he was asking a question about vasectomies and if men can have any complications later in life if you have a vasectomy. And so what we were saying before we went to the break, basically there's a low risk of complications. So if someone has had a vasectomy and is now having some type of symptoms, they should definitely reach out to their physician because that is not normal. It is very low risk. And really the only complications are pain, which is expected. There's going to be some pain. Even there can be some pains, maybe years later after you've had a vasectomy. But for the most part, it's a very low risk procedure and there are very low complications with that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So, all right. So thanks, Emery, for that question. Let's get back to our phone lines. Good morning, Norman. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine.
Great to hear your voice.
Fine. It's great to hear you. I miss you. It's a very important thing last came out to affects all of us who are in the healthcare profession.
Thank you. So today we're honoring nurses for National Nurses Month. So do you have any nurses that you want to honor on air, or do you have any stories that you want to share about your experience with nurses?
No, I don't know. I know a few nurses, but that was from way back when I used to work at Detroit General Hospital stuff.
All right.
Way back when it was Detroit General downtown. Right in front of the police station, and stuff. That was many moons ago. I was action-packed down there. We learned a heck of a lot when we were training.
Is there something else on your mind that you want to talk about this morning?
Oh, yeah.
Got a few minutes left before we end the show.
Okay,
you should have called earlier. Where you been? You got up late. Look, I'm calling you out.
Well, I was listening.
You were listening?
Thank you. Oh, I was definitely listening. My clock sets at 6, and boom, the thing popped up, and I was listening.
All right.
This is what I wanted to point out to you. There's something that's really critical. Is that the organization called the every medical program or any medicine that is used for human life or even dog life and stuff, it has to be approved in this country by the FDA. And what has happened is there's a program that's widely used in every hospital pharmacy. It's called NARC Score. NARC Score, we call it PDMP, Prescription Drug Monitoring Program. The Center for Study on U.S. Policy has been monitoring this program. Along with our organization, have been saying that there was something seriously wrong with the program. Turns out that on April 28th, which was last week, they submitted a citizen's petition to the FDA requesting this program, demanding the immediate removal of this program by the FDA because it fails, it's being misbranded, defective, and a danger to health. And it's widely used, and I'm sure you're aware of NARC Score.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Norm, I need you to sum this up in 30 seconds. We got it.
I want people to understand that this program is another example of what we call vendor fraud.
Okay.
And that thousands and millions of dollars are paid into this particular program, and the program is useless. Every pharmacy uses it, and in fact, it leads to bias.
Okay. All right. Leave that information on the video so everyone can look that up and get more information. As always, I appreciate your call, Norm. You have a great Sunday. Okay. Listen next Sunday. Okay.
Okay, I will.
All right. Let's get to O'Neill. I think you're going to be our last caller because we have to end the show soon. Good morning, O'Neill. How are you?
I'm doing well. And good morning to you and your guests. Nurse Chimes, good morning. What a great morning. Listen, Nurse Chimes, I wanted to know what's the difference between the program of becoming a registered nurse and a nurse practitioner.
A nurse, what's that?
Practitioner.
Practitioner. Okay. Is that what you said, nurse practitioner?
Yeah, nurse practitioner.
Okay.
What's the difference between the programs of education between the two?
Great question. You want to answer that?
Yeah, great question. Thank you for asking. So a registered nurse, you can either get an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree to become a registered nurse. Nurse practitioner is a registered nurse who's already has a bachelor's degree, but then they go back to school to learn some specialized training in a particular field. Usually it's age-related, so it could be for pediatrics, it could be for adult medicine, but then you usually have a master's degree on top of it. So it's really the difference is sort of an educational difference.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that question.
Mm-hmm, thank you.
And please continue to listen to 910 AM Superstation. Wow, these 2 hours have went by so quickly. It always happens that way. The callers are phenomenal. They always ask great questions on this show. My guests are always great, and they always add great value to this show. Are there any last final thoughts that you want to add? And again, I appreciate you for waking up. I know it's early, it's a Sunday, so I gratefully appreciate you, and thank you again for coming on. Thank you. Look, my producer, he knows I love that clapping. Thank you so much. Are there any final thoughts that you want to add?
I just want to say thank you to you and to all the nurses out there who are putting in that day-to-day work in the hospitals and taking care of patients. I don't think the healthcare system could be what it was without nurses, and particularly those at the bedside. So that's really my final.
Yes, for sure. Shout out to each and every nurse out there in the world, okay? We honor you. I am a nurse myself, but I also honor all the nurses out there. Like you said, these hospitals could not function without nurses, not to, be cocky or anything, but it's just the truth. And we love, more than anything, we love our profession. So we are going to fight every day for rights for nurses, for the advancements of nurses. And again, I just want to say happy National Nurses Month to everyone out there. Thank you to all of my callers today. Thank you to all the listeners out there. Thank you, Dr. Benkert, for coming on my show. Please continue to listen. Up next is Bob Ficano. He's going to have a great show. So please continue to listen to 910 AM Superstation. I will be back live in studio next Sunday. So join me again next Sunday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Bye, everyone. Have a great Sunday.
If you've been injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, the insurance companies never want to pay. Hello?
Listen, David, I'm telling